When fascists die, Democrats don't complain. Yeah, that's true. Tried to justify it. Democrats don't complain. Is he a Democrat? A Paraguayan national charged that Charlie Kirk was the son of a bee and he died by his own rules. Your visa revoked. Go back to Paraguay. Good luck. Aliens who take advantage of America's hospitality while celebrating the assassination of our citizens will be removed. The Charlie Kirk haters who are here on visas no longer welcome. State Department says, we in the United States have no obligation to host foreigners who wish death on Americans. Makes sense. Why would we want to import murderers or import murder lovers and people who endorse and condone political violence and assassinations? We don't want them. We don't want people coming in with their foreign conflicts, coming in and agitating our colleges or creating their own little districts in America that are exploiting our laws ultimately to gain power so they can overrule our laws. We don't want any of that. And if you're going to be a psychopath who indulges in murder, you can go do that in your home country. Pack up and get out. They said the United States Department continues to identify visa holders, foreigners in our country on permission slips who celebrated the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk. Here are just a few examples of aliens who are no longer welcome in the United States. Pack your bags. This person is an Argentine national, said that Kirk, quote, devoted his entire life to spreading racist, xenophobic, and misogynistic rhetoric, which are, these phrases have like no meaning at all anymore. They just regurgitate them like they're a broken record. And they said he deserves to burn in hell. Here's this nice comment from this person. I'm not sure why they redacted some of that stuff, but they say, hey, just came in here to say Charlie Kirk can rest in urine. And yet again, if any of you have empathy for him, remove yourself as my friend. I do not give an F about the death of a person who did this and this and this. It's hot as F where this man is and hits this. Okay, it's your opinion. You're allowed to have that speech. Say whatever you want. That's fine. You're not welcome here. We don't have to have you in our country. Your visa's revoked. You're a bad actor and a bad influence, and we don't want you here if you want to celebrate the death of other people. So pack your bags. You can go back to Argentina and post whatever you want. Another person, South Africa. South African national mocked Americans grieving the loss of Charlie Kirk, said our State Department, saying they're hurt that the racist rally ended in attempted martyrdom, saying he was used to astroturf a movement of white nationalist trailer trash. Wow, that's a really disgusting statement. He said Neanderthals can't have their cake and eat it. This weekend they went to openly anti-black racist, not true, and now they're hurt that the rally ended in attempted martyrdom. He kind of is a martyr, so he was killed for his cause, doing what he believed in. Charlie Kirk won't be remembered as a hero. He just got a presidential medal of freedom yesterday and was astroturfed a movement of white nationalist trailer trash. Oh, well, you can have that opinion, my man. Good luck with that. Back in South Africa. Get out. Another Mexican national got their visa revoked. He said that Kirk died being a racist and stated that there are people who deserve to die. Wow. And there are people who would make the world better off dead. You're gone. Visa, go back to Mexico. This Brazilian, right back to Brazil. He said Charlie was the reason for a Nazi rally and that Kirk died too late, wanted him dead earlier. Well, you can have that opinion in Brazil. Pack your bags, get out. Another German is going back to Germany and attempted to justify his murder in German. He wrote this in German. They're even translating this stuff. When fascists die, Democrats don't complain. Yeah, that's true. Tried to justify it. Democrats don't complain. Is he a Democrat? I mean, that could also just be an observational statement, but it's a little too close for comfort. Visa revoked, get out. A Paraguayan national charged that Charlie Kirk was the son of a bee and he died by his own rules. Your visa revoked. Go back to Paraguay. Good luck. Department of State said POTUS and Rubio will defend our borders, our culture, and our citizens by enforcing our immigration laws. Aliens who take advantage of America's hospitality while celebrating the assassination of our citizens will be removed. And we're happy to see that. And don't think you can just speak in German or Spanish or some other language and get away with it, because we're translating everything and you're busted. So enjoy Germany and your Muslim invasion over there. Have fun. So that happened. Now, the New York Times was writing about this. They said there were 6 examples of this saying they're withdrawing their visas. And of course, we know what happened. Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. Now, the Times could not independently confirm the identities, nationalities, or the visa status, but they didn't include their names and they weren't responding to comments. Last month, Rubio said, if you're here on a visa and you're cheering the public assassination, you're not welcome here. Now, judges have also rebuked Mr. Rubio for taking similar actions against pro-Palestinian activists and have ordered them freed from detention. Yeah, and I think that they kind of goofed on that. I think that they would have had a much stronger argument if they didn't make it about anti-Semitism on college campuses, because that makes it like a viewpoint and it makes it look to the judges. It actually gives all the judges a perfect excuse. Oh, they're just singling out one group against another group. That's unconstitutional. That's viewpoint discrimination. We'll just go right back to the First Amendment, and the judges are now coming out like they're heroes of the Constitution because they got that justification justification and that excuse from that policy. But our position on it has always been, you just have the right to revoke their visa. Doesn't matter what they're saying. It matters if they're speaking in a way that's agitating, right? And we don't need that here. It's a national security implication. We don't want foreign conflicts being imported here. No matter what the thing is, it's not viewpoint discrimination at all. It's national security, which I think would be the better argument. But they say Tuesday, and they're getting rid of these people, other people, Germans and others. Get out, afuera, afuera, afuera. Now, meanwhile, these people are probably reeling from their home countries very soon. This is so ridiculous. Medal of Freedom from Brazil. Yeah, you can watch it. You can comment on this post over there from your home country. White House posted this, said that Charlie Kirk was assassinated in the prime of his life for speaking the truth, living his faith, and relentlessly fighting for America. That's why President Trump posthumously awarded Charlie Kirk our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And there were some good images of this from the White House with Erica Kirk there, Trump signing the National Day of Remembrance and sharing images of the medal for Charles James Kirk, full name on the medal, handed off to his widow and wife, Erica. Now, the White House also made an announcement. They said that this is a National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk with a nice message saying on the afternoon, Wednesday, September 10th, pure evil struck when the legendary Charlie Kirk was assassinated in broad daylight in the campus courtyard, triggering a groundswell of righteous fury all across our land. Today, our nation honors the immortal memory of Charlie, a father, husband, and Christian martyr and titan of the American conservative movement. We honor his life. We send our condolences to his beautiful family, and we pledge to advance the values for which he laid down his life. Every day, Charlie devoted himself to a set of simple causes: defending the truth, encouraging debate, and spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. He was gracious, articulate, beyond measure, always welcomed opposing perspectives, and never deviated from his noble goal of bridging our political, cultural, and philosophical divides. As we mourn this extraordinary loss, Trump says, my administration will continue to do everything in its power to end this devastating wave of political violence. No civilized country can endure a culture where open debate is met with gunfire, the pursuit of truth is met with bloodshed, and love of country is met with seething hatred. In Charlie's absence, we are now tasked with continuing his mission of giving voice to our cherished American ideals with confidence and clarity. Like him, we must not flinch in the face of darkness and hostility, and we must never waver in speaking the truth with joyful and steadfast resolve. Today, on what would have been his 32nd birthday, our nation honors the loving memory of Charlie Kirk. We offer our condolences to his beautiful wife, Erica, and two precious children. We call on every American to pray for peace in our public square. Above all, we renew our resolve to always defend our principles of truth, faith, and the open exchange of ideas. Now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim October 14, 2025 as a National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. I call on the American people to assemble on this day in their respective places of worship, there to pay homage to Charlie's memory. I invite the people of our nation to pray for the advancement of peace, truth, and justice all across our country. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 14th day of October in the year of our Lord, 2025, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 250th. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Nice message there from the White House. Governor Cox in Utah making another declaration, saying on what would have been his 32nd birthday in Utah, we remember Charlie Kirk, who showed that principled dialogue and respect, even amid deep differences, strengthen our nation and our democracy, constitutional republic. I've proclaimed October 14th as Charlie Kirk Day in Utah, saying he was born on October 14th, 1993, tragically passed, was killed, murdered on September 10th, 2025. Passed. Charlie was known as a husband, father. He was killed. Charlie was known as a husband, father, patriot, and person of faith. Whereas his advocacy for free speech, youth involvement in governance, and principles of liberty resonated deeply, igniting renewed passion for political participation among many young Americans. Whereas he inspired countless people with his message of unity and civic discourse. Whereas we commemorate his life and legacy and acknowledge his many contributions, now therefore I, Spencer Cox, Governor of the great state of Utah, do hereby declare October 14, 2025 as Charlie Kirk Day in Utah. And another nice tribute from Utah. Now here is the signing of the Day of Remembrance proclamation for Charlie Kirk, courtesy of Margot Martin. Here's what went down in the Oval Office.
How beautiful is that music? Remember Charlie down on the patio? He could sit there all night long listening to this music.
Very nice signature from the president. And as we mentioned, when we went to the Charlie Kirk Memorial in Arizona, we felt the Holy Spirit reverberating throughout the entire stadium and the campus. And what we're also seeing is that there appears to be revival, a surge, an awakening, Christian revival across the United States. Look at these numbers. And I think a lot of this is a response to what we witnessed, the brutal, horrific murder, evil standing out, evil emerging, raising their flag, and having a bunch of other people pay homage to their horrific ideology. When you see evil that is emerging and open, there's a natural and opposite reaction to that. And here's what it looks like.
A Christian revival across the country. Bible sales increasing over 40% since 2022. Religion app downloads surging nearly 80%. That increase since 2019. And Christian music Spotify streams up 50% from 2019.
Amazing. A lot more people of faith in our country now developing their faith, and a lot less Charlie Kirk hating foreigners in our country now that their visas have been revoked.